When you're finally ready to upgrade your movie night from just okay to wow, I'm actually in the scene, the biggest fear is ending up with a set of speakers that look great on paper but end up being a constant source of compromise. You want something that will actually sit nicely in the living room, stay reliable after years of volume cranking, and justify the money you're spending. The biggest mistake most people make is buying a bundle that promises Dolby Atmos without thinking through how the whole system will live in their space. That hesitation is what drove me to dig into the Polk Dolby Atmos home speaker bundle before I hit record. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I spent a few evenings watching how the individual pieces, 2 bookshelf speakers, a center channel, a high-efficiency tower, and a pair of height speakers fit together in a typical mid-size living room. My goal was to see if the bundle delivers on the immersive promise without turning the room into a maze of wires and awkward placement. First, let's talk about the core of any home theater setup: the front left and right speakers. Polk's compact bookshelf pair is surprisingly full-bodied. Because they're small, they blend into a bookshelf or stand without dominating the room, which is a real win for anyone who doesn't want a speaker wall look. In practice, when I played a recent action film, the explosions and orchestral swells hit with enough punch to fill the space, while the mid stayed clean enough that dialogue didn't get lost. That's a practical strength you won't notice until you actually watch a movie with friends. No need to keep raising the volume just to hear what the hero is saying. The center channel is often the unsung hero in a home theater. Polk's compact center does exactly what it promises: it places dialogue right where you expect it, directly in front of you. I tested it with a dialogue-heavy drama and the voices stayed crystal clear even when the surrounding speakers were turned up for an intense fight scene. That kind of focus is essential if you're watching TV shows or streaming content where spoken word is the main attraction. It also means you won't have to keep tweaking the AV receiver's levels to get a balanced soundstage. Now, the tower speaker. Polk calls it the Monitor XT60. This is the real workhorse of the bundle. With a 1-inch tweeter and a 6-inch mid-woofer, it delivers the dynamic range you want for movies and games without needing a separate subwoofer for most mid-sized rooms. When I cranked up a racing game, the low-end rumble was present, but not overwhelming. It added excitement without shaking the picture frame. The high efficiency means you can drive it with a modest AV receiver, which is great if you're on a budget and don't want to upgrade your amp just for this bundle. The height speakers are where the Dolby Atmos claim gets its teeth. Polk includes a pair of upward-firing modules designed to bounce sound off the ceiling, creating that overhead effect you associate with immersive audio. I mounted them on a shelf just above ear level, and the result was convincing. Rain and helicopter rotors really seem to come from above. The key practical point here is that you don't need a custom ceiling mount. The upfiring design works in most rooms with an average 8-foot ceiling. However, if your ceiling is unusually high or covered in acoustic tiles, you may notice the effect drop off, which is a hidden trade-off worth considering. Who should buy this bundle? If you already have a Dolby Atmos capable receiver or are planning to get one, and you have a living room that can accommodate a tower speaker plus 2 bookshelf speakers, this set is a solid entry point. It's especially appealing for families who watch a mix of movies, games, and TV shows. Everything from blockbuster explosions to quiet sitcoms will sound balanced without having to constantly adjust settings. The compact form factor also makes it a good fit for apartments that allow a bit of space for a tower and a modest bookshelf pair. Who should skip it? If you live in a very small studio where a tower speaker would dominate the space, or if you're looking for a pure hi-fi music setup where deep bass and ultra-wide soundstage are non-negotiable, you might be better off with a dedicated 2-speaker stereo pair and a separate subwoofer. The bundle does not include a subwoofer, so while the tower handles most low-frequency needs, you'll still feel a gap in true bass impact for bass-heavy music genres. Also, if you have a ceiling that's lower than 8 feet or heavily textured, the height speakers won't deliver the full Atmos experience, making that part of the bundle less valuable. Let's get into the practical weaknesses. The first is placement flexibility. The bookshelf speakers need a few inches of breathing room on either side to avoid unwanted reflections that can color the sound. In cramped setups, you might have to tilt them or use isolation pads, which adds an extra step. Second, the bundle assumes you